Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. I wanted to share something with you guys that happened to me yesterday. And it was kind of like an aha moment for me where I was very proud of myself, and it made me realize how far I've come from the person that I was before my healing journey. Um, and that living authentically, why it's so important. So I went out for a bike ride yesterday, a very long one. It was all day. It was like 12 hours long. We stopped for lunch. We stopped here or there, for appetizers. And we just stopped at, different places along the way. And there were 13 of us total. And when we stopped for lunch, there was one man in particular that was very upset with how long it was taking to get food after we had been warned that it was going to take a long time to get food. But the way he was very very outspoken about it. He was very loud about it. He was almost like seeing red, when one of those people that just can't control their anger, or they have anger issues, they just see red and it's like an explosion, right? So it was pretty dramatic. And it was the aha moment for me was that I didn't judge him. Throughout the whole time that he was spouting off and saying all of these, cussing at the wait staff, being very loud, belligerent, just very defiant. I didn't once judge him. The only thing I found myself doing, and this is where I'm really proud of how far I've come. 10 years ago, I would have stood up to that man, no matter how big or small he was, how much older he was of me, his financial status. I didn't care. I would not have cared. I would have stood up to him. I would have cussed back at him. I would have had a screaming match with him. I would have volunteered someone else to fight him. Like, it would have been so bad. I would have made it so much worse. But instead, I sat there and I couldn't help but feel so sorry for this man. I was like, I feel so sorry that he is doing this to himself right now, that he is doing this to his friends and his family right now for reasons that he can't even comprehend. Someone that has that kind of anger has serious trauma. And that's what we don't understand. We see people that get angry and we just think to ourselves, wow, what an asshole. We don't stop and think, what has this man been through in his life to make him so violent and to make him so angry and easily frustrated? And just, you think about, I know what I've been through in my life that made me act that way when I was younger. And if it was anything close to what I've been through, I mean, I can relate and I can understand it. The difference between him and I is I acknowledged that I had a problem, right? That's where it starts. if anything, I wanted to give him my card and say, you know, I really feel like you could use a hug. but, you know, I didn't do that because that would have, there's a time and a place for everything. And when someone's angry like that, that's not the time. So, you know, but just because I didn't judge this man and I got curious about what he's been through and I felt sorry for him instead, I also, it doesn't mean that I want to be associated with him. You know, I have my tribe of people that are positive vibes. They are emotionally intelligent. They are authentic. They're not afraid. They're not insecure. Or, you know, anything like that. Those are my people. That's who I like to associate with. So, I mean, this is not someone that I would choose to hang out with ever again, unless he acknowledged that he has some issues and he sought help and he made steps towards change. But otherwise, you know, those are the type of people that I don't want to be, you know, around. And it's not, I shouldn't say those are the types of people, but people that are just not living their authentic self, people that are not able to acknowledge their poor behavior and attitudes and disrespect. I'm just not willing to, it's something I can't tolerate anymore because I was that person and I know how embarrassing I was when I acted like that. I was an embarrassment to everybody, which is why I had no friends and my family wanted nothing to do with me. You know, so I get it. I've been there. And when he decides to acknowledge that and go on that journey, 95% he's going to feel the same way. And it's going to be really difficult for him to swallow. But, you know, I pray for people like that. I really do. I really, truly do. I don't truly believe that there is a bad person, like born bad person on this planet. It's all learned behavior. It all comes from somewhere, whether it's trauma, you know, abuse, anything like that. So I just feel sorry for those people and I just wish them the greatest healing journey so that they can enjoy whatever life they have left, no matter the age. That's my true wish for this gentleman. But my aha moment again was I didn't judge him. I wasn't embarrassed. I was not embarrassed to be there. I was more like, I really hope that this guy finds his way because he's got some serious healing to do. He's got some serious work to do. And it's so sad to watch someone come undone like that you know has some things that they need to work out. And I was just proud of myself because I had not been in a situation like that since I have done my own work, my inner work. I've not been in a situation like that. So I've never been confronted with, well, what would I do now if something like that happened? And I was yesterday. And it was pretty great. You know, it was pretty awesome that I could just stand there and watch and observe this man's behavior, see my old self in him, and do nothing but pray and wish for healing for him and nothing else, you know? So anyways, I wanted to share that with you and just a little tidbit about, you know, what kind of person you can be once you make that acknowledgement that you do have behavior that you need to change, and that your brain can be rewired, and that it's all about healing. You got to heal those wounds. So it doesn't make him a bad person. It just makes him someone that has some stuff that he needs to work through. That's all. So, all right, well, have a wonderful weekend, guys. It's been a great bike week here. There has been several accidents, but everybody's pulled through, so that is a plus. I know during bike week here in New Hampshire, or bike week probably anywhere, there's usually at least 1 or 2 fatalities. This week for the 100th anniversary, it actually's been really good. So it's good for the economy. It's good for, you know, people that are social and the riders. And I love it. It's just been great. So anyways, have a wonderful weekend. See you next week. Bye. Ciao.